Nandananam Bande Radhika Charanadvayam Gopi Jana Samayuktam Vrindavan Narayanam Namaskritam Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jamudina Panchatatmatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. So first of all, after pranams to our Gurudev, Om Vishnupadi Dandi Swami Sri Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, also our Rupanuga Guru Varga, all devotees, Dandavat pranams. So yesterday was Chandan Yatra. This day is very important day. Guru Maharaj would say, on this day, yesterday, Bhagavan created the universe. So one of the first things he created was Bali. So on that day, and in some places scripture says donation of Bali is higher than even donation of gold. So, of course, the big Chandan Yatra is there in Jagannath Puri. Because of coronavirus, they had to do some adjustments. So yesterday was the appearance day of Bhagavan Parasuram. Yesterday also, Draupadi was given the Akshay Patra, one unlimited dish from the sun god. Many things happened. Also, Param Gurudev Bhakti Pragyan Kesab Goswami Maharaj inaugurated his Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti on this day. It said anything you do or begin on Akshay Titiya, that will be successful. Akshay means eternal, no? So on this day, Bhagavan spoke the Vedas. So many things happened yesterday. And we see the pictures, how beautifully Didi covered all the deities in Chandan. One quick story is there. One time in Dwarka, Krishna became very sick. This is very astonishing because Krishna has no material body, and how he can have anything like material sickness, hunger or thirst. So many doctors came, of course they could not find the cause of Krishna's disease. Then finally, Krishna was the cause of all causes. Narada Muni prayed, "Oh Krishna, how do you know the cure of your disease? Because you cure the disease of everyone, so only you can cure your own disease. You are the cause of all causes, therefore you are the cause of your own disease, therefore you can be the cause of the cure." And Krishna said, only one thing can cure me from my fever, that is the foot dust of any Vaishnava, high-class devotee. So Narada Muni, he began, yes, I will get for you. So he went to all the great devotees of the universe, to the place of Brahma, to the place of Shiva, the place of the four Kumaras, the place of Ananta, many great devotees. And they all asked, how is Krishna performing his human-like pastimes? Oh, Narada said, Krishna is not good. He is diseased. Some fever is there. All devotees felt very sad. Can we do some service? Yes. Narada said, Krishna wants one service from you. You give your foot dust to him. And that foot dust Krishna will put on his body and become free from the disease. All devotees became horrified. Oh my God. How can I put foot dust on the head of my foot dust on the head of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? This is great offense. I will have to go to hell. I cannot do. So all devotees declined. Because they thought, even though actually all cultures have this. Even Islam, when you enter the mosque, you take off your shoes. No. When you, of course, any temple, you take off your shoes, because shoes are considered unclean. So how can I put the dirtiest part of my body on the topmost part of the topmost personality, the Supreme Lord? This will be offense. So all declined. We cannot do. So when Narada Muni came, he said to Krishna, no, I could not collect even 1 grain of food dust. Then Krishna said to Narad, you can give. Then Narad was afraid, I cannot give also. No one was willing to give. Then Krishna said, you go to Vrindavan. There you must find someone who can get some food dust. So it could be Narad was thinking, no, Vrindavan, what they know of Krishna? They don't know Shastra. They don't have so much knowledge. They are just from the cowherd community. But anyway, Krishna gave orders, so Narada Muni went there. When Narad came, all the Brijabasis surrounded him. Oh Narad, how is Krishna? Krishna is our life and soul. When Narad explained Krishna had a fever, then all Brijabasis began to weep. We cannot tolerate Krishna's unhappiness. So can we do any seva? Can we do anything to alleviate Krishna's disease? That time, Krishna smiled. Radhika said, we will give food dust. All Brijabasis said, take my food dust. Another Brijabasi said, no, take my food dust. How much you need? 5 grams, 50 grams, 5 kilos? And Narad said, don't you know giving your food dust on the head of the Supreme Lord would be a great offense? It could be you will have to go to hell. And Radhika says, we are ready for that. If by going to hell Krishna feels happiness, then that suffering is our happiness. Nagani apana sukh, tar bancha, amar tar bancha, tar sukh, amara tar bancha. Radhika said, I never count my own happiness or distress. Our goal is the happiness of Krishna. And if by suffering unhappiness Krishna feels joy, then that suffering is our pleasure. And this is such an astonishing mood. Who can say like that? So Narada Muni collected that food dust and carried that back to Dwarka. That food dust touched Narada Muni. He also felt intoxicated, so happy. And Krishna took that food dust and covered his whole body. Then his fever went away. Krishna also felt so much happiness. So this is the one like original meaning of Chandanyatra. So anyway, we have to continue Brhad Bhagavatamrta. This first 4-5 days of class, 4-5 classes will be little introductory. No? Because the main instruction is in the last sections of the book. But unless we hear this introduction, we cannot make any comparison. If we never experienced nighttime, then how we can understand the beauty of the day? In the same way, unless we hear about the greatness of all the other devotees, other levels of devotees, then we cannot understand the super excellence of the Brijabasis. So have to be a little patient. So we heard 2 days ago, Narada Muni was searching who is the object of Krishna's mercy, the greatest object. So Krishna went to Narada Muni went to Prayag. One Brahmin was doing one big religious festival. With his own hand he made one dais, one courtyard, he purified, and with so much paraphernalia he offered with great devotion to the form of Bhagavan Narayan, the Shalagram. Many Vaishnavas, sannyasis, brahmacharis, guests came, learned persons. There was so much discussion of topics of Krishna. So high-class food items were offered and given to the Shalagram. After that, devotee with his own hands, he distributed to all the guests and satisfied everyone. So Narada Muni said, you are the recipient of Krishna's mercy. But that devotee said, no, why? I have a little bit of opulence. What opulence I have? I only do occasional festivals. But in South India is one king. He has the mercy of Krishna. he does so much opulent service of Krishna. So Narada Muni went to the king of South India. That whole country was devotee kingdom, Vaishnav kingdom. Therefore, the king was personally maintaining so many huge Lord Vishnu, and not just occasional festivals. Every day was a festival, distributing prasad to thousands of guests as well as the citizens. The whole country was performing all their duties in relationship to Krishna's service. So Narada Muni said, "You are the recipient of Krishna's mercy." But that king said, "No, I am just a human being. Human being has short life, small wealth. Also, I'm always afflicted by the threefold miseries from my own body and mind, the misery inflicted by others, neighbors, police, tax, insects, dogs, and also the misery inflicted by nature in the form of disease, too much heat, too much cold. So I'm only a human being." So actually Lord Indra, he is the recipient of Krishna's mercy. Okay, low voice volume, cannot do anything about that. So Narada Muni went to the heavenly planets. Okay, maybe there are some new people watching. We cannot be so foolish to think that life is only on this one planet. So the Vedic scriptures describe, actually this universe has 14 planetary systems, like 14 levels of existence. So human beings, we are in the middle. Our planetary system is called Bhūrloka. Why? Here is not too much. Is that better, Meg? Here is not too much enjoyment. Here is not too much suffering. So we're in the middle platform. So above us is many higher planetary systems. For example, here on the Earth planet we have short lifespan. We have enjoyment, but not too much high class. Sorry to speak these things. Like, for example, eating. We eat, but our eating is very gross. Like sexual enjoyment, that is also like very gross, almost like animalistic. But the higher planets, they have so much greater level of material enjoyment. They have lifespan of hundreds of thousands of years. They have like, not divine bodies, but subtle bodies made of air, made of ether, made of mind, made of intelligence, different gradations. Therefore, they have facility for enjoying unlimited material enjoyment. For example, we are human beings. How much can we enjoy, for example, eating? How much can we eat? 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate maximum. Afterwards, that eating, that enjoyment transforms to suffering. How much, for example, sexual enjoyment you can have after 60, 70, that's all finished also. The body is declining, at old age cannot see, smell, taste. Anyway, the human being have many limits for enjoyment. Therefore, most religions, if you look in Christianity, Islam, Judaism, their goal is actually the kingdom of God, the service of God. Their goal is increased material enjoyment. Even if most people follow some religious practice, the goal is, okay, I give up a little bit of enjoyment in this world, but I get more enjoyment in my next life, in the heavenly planets. So, it's like one type of cheating. Because actually you're doing religion not just for the service of the Supreme Lord, you're doing it for your own pleasure. But we can get into more details of that later. So anyway, most humans are interested in, if they do some religious practice, going to the heavenly planets. So above this Earth planet, there's Bhūrloka, Swargalok, Janalok, Mahalok, Tapalok, Brahmalok or Satyalok. That is the topmost planetary system in the universe. Beneath this is also 7 lesser planetary systems. The bottom is the hellish planets, but anyway, who wants to go there? So that Swargalok also has gradation. If you perform pious activities in this earthly realm, then you can collect punya, or which is in a gross way we say karma. By good karma you can go to the celestial planets. And how long you'll stay there, what grade of happiness you have according to how much you performed good activities, how much charity you gave to the poor, for example, if you opened any free hospitals, if you created any facility for like construction of roads or construction of free guest houses, like this type of thing. So the Swarga, they have practically unlimited material enjoyment. In the earth realm, there's so many rules of sex life, for example, but in the celestial realm, there's no rules. There's like unrestricted, unlimited enjoyment. So, the king of heaven, that position is called Indra. Just like when the government changes, you get a new Minister of Finance, a new Minister of Defense. So the universe has its control system, different positions. The god of fire, the god of the sun, the god of the moon, the god of water, the god of wind, the god of different directions. So if you do a lot of good activity as a human being, then by that karma you can even get the position of one of these controllers. So the topmost is Indra, the position of Indra. So the king on the earth planet said, Indra, he is the full recipient of Krishna's mercy. So Narada Muni, who has he is the topmost devotee of Bhagavan, therefore he have all mystic power. So I think 8 mystic perfections are there. So one is can travel by desire. So immediately he went to the heavenly planets. So what did he see? There's a huge assembly hall there in the heaven. That is called the Sudama Assembly Hall. No, it's not too hot, not too cold. The minute you go in there, you become free from all desires, all fear, all lamentation. So Narada Muni entered that place of the demigods. So of course, Indra, with his wife Sachi, you could imagine how beautiful they are. They were like this leader's position, topmost, and all the smaller demigods, they were surrounding. That time Narada Muni entered that assembly. And there, Supreme Lord was there also. Supreme Lord was also on the earth planet in the form of the shalagram of the first devotee. He was also in the form of the installed deity in the second devotee, the king. So Krishna in all realms. But in the heavenly planet, he was personally there. Actually in the form of Vishnu, not Krishna. Vishnu is one form of Krishna who is in charge of maintaining the universe. So Bhagavan, Vishnu, resides personally in the heavenly planets. He did not reside personally on the earth planet at this time. For that reason, the king on the earth considered Indra to be more fortunate, Indra to be more fortunate than him, because Bhagavan directly present. In this earth planet, Krishna is present, but like indirectly. Sometimes he comes in the form of incarnation, but now is not that time. So now Krishna only present indirectly. And he can be realized only in the heart, only by meditation and things like that. So Indra is more fortunate. So Narada Muni, what did he see? That Bhagavan Vishnu was sitting on his carrier Garuda. Actually, Indonesia, for example, that used to be Vedic, that used to be called Hindu or Vedic. Therefore, even now, Indonesia called their airlines Garuda Airlines. So Lord Vishnu was sitting on the back of his carrier Garuda, and all the demigods were surrounding the Lord, giving him different presentations. Some were giving him garlands made of kalpavriksha flowers. Right? In the earth planet, the tree is not too much, give you too much. 1 month a year, they give you some fruits. But the trees in the heavenly planets, so much more exalted. Whatever you want, those trees take that form and fulfill your desire. Therefore, the trees are called kalpavrikshas. Therefore the demigods were making flower garlands out of flowers taken from those trees. So you could imagine the fragrance of those flowers. They were offering the Lord sandalwood, chandan. Sandalwood, if you rub it, it becomes a paste, so fragrant, so cooling. Like yesterday we covered the deity. If you look on my Facebook page, you can see some photos there. So like 6 weeks they were rubbing sandalwood every day to make the paste we used for the festival yesterday. So they're offering the Lord garlands made of the kalpavriksha flowers. They're offering him sandalwood paste, cloth, ornaments, nectar. That time the guru of the demigods, Brihaspati, he was also offering prayers. So the Supreme Lord is there in the form of Bhamandev, one special incarnation. Okay? Krishna can appear in any... Krishna, out of mercy, he appears in all situations, all species of life. To give everyone a chance, I think. Because Krishna is unlimited, he can take unlimited forms, appear in unlimited situations, taste unlimited varieties of service. For example, Krishna can appear in the animal species in the form of like fish incarnation or boar incarnation. It's a little hard for people to understand. Krishna not become a pig or a fish like in this world. He'd keep his own divine nature. So sometimes Krishna appears in the species of animals. Sometimes Krishna appears in the species of human, like in the form of Buddha, Lord Buddha, or in the form of Krishna himself or Balaram. Sometimes Krishna appears in a subhuman species, like Bhamandev, dwarf form, or barbarian form in the form of like Parasuram. And Krishna also appears in the celestial species, the demigods, and that is Bhamandev. So Bhamandev is a very special incarnation. He appeared amongst the demigods. It's a long story, but this world is controlled by two forces, the divine and demonic class of persons. So sometimes the divine nature, the demigods are prominent, sometimes the demonic nature, the demonic persons become prominent. So one time, the great devotee Bali, who actually appeared in the demonic species, he had captured the entire universe, including the planet of Indra. He captured the position of the demigods. So all demigods were distressed, they prayed to Vishnu. So Vishnu said, I will appear in a special form to relieve the burden of the demigods. But there's always one special reason of Krishna's descent. So, Krishna appeared from the womb of Aditi. Aditi is the mother of Indra. He appeared in a dwarf form, also in the form of a Brahmin. So when he came in dwarf form, we shouldn't think dwarf like, what's that movie called? Lord of the Rings? No. Dwarf in this world is a little ugly, but Bhamandev dwarf form was so handsome, so charming. So everyone felt, this is my son. So all demigods gave some presentation. Some, I think Shiva gave a begging bowl. Parvati gave like an umbrella. Some gave some paduka, some shoes. Some gave some earrings. Some gave some different donation. And Bhamandev went to the sacrifice of Bali Maharaj, who was the king of the demons. He came in a very charming form. When Bali saw, of course, that time he could not understand this is Krishna. Who is this very effulgent Brahmin? So Bali Maharaj was giving charity at that time. So Bali Maharaj asked to the Lord, what do you want? What donation do you want? Gold? Silver? Villages? Cows? If you want my kingdom, you can take that. Because Bhamandev had such an effulgence, such a sweetness that Bali's mind was captivated. Then Bhamandev laughed. No. I am renunciant. I am very small, therefore my needs are not great. In this world, only one person is happy, that person who is satisfied with whatever he has, that person is really happy. Therefore, all I require is 3 steps of land. Then Bali Maharaj laughed. Come on, man, because you are small, your brain is small. It means one who comes to me should never have to approach a second person for charity. That means you one time you come to me, I give enough for your whole life maintenance. But Vamandev, the Lord, refused. No, I just need 3 steps of land. I will build some hut. I will perform my practices there. So Bali Maharaj was astonished. He'd never heard anyone asking like this. So finally, Bali Maharaj said, you have to promise to give me 3 steps of land. Vamandev said, then Bali Maharaj was astonished. I give hundreds of kilos of gold and silver and diamond. No one yet made me promise to give that. So finally he said, I promise to give you. Then Vamandev took a huge form, unlimited form. And with one step he stepped to the top of the universe. With his second step he went to the bottom of the universe. There with 2 steps he took the whole universe from Bali Maharaj. Because he took that and again he gave to the demigods. So even there today, Vamandev is still there because the incarnations are all eternal. So this is some background voice, no? Background layout. So Narada Muni, he went to the celestial planets. He saw there all the demigods, Brihaspati, the good of the demigods, Indra. They were all offering him according to their abilities, some flowers, some cloth, some just offering prayers like this. So all the demigods, the celestial realms, the Siddhas, the Vidyadharas, the Gandharvas, and the Apsaras. These are different celestial species. The Vidyadharas are very learned at recitals. The Gandharvas, expert musicians. The Apsaras are like celestial ladies, expert in dancing. So all these different demigods were singing, dancing, some offering prayers, some music was going on. And a very sweet voice, the Lord was accepting the offering. Very nice, thank you very much. Oh, you are very good entertainment. Also with his hand, he was bestowing the benediction of fearlessness to all the demigods. Don't fear from the demons, I am here. So in this way, the Lord was performing many activities there, and Narada Muni was watching all this. He was accepting tambul from the mother of Indra, her name is Aditi, and he was taking that very gracefully. Nearby the king of heaven, Indra, he was sitting near the Lord. And Indra also means so much opulence. Again and again, Indra was also glorifying the Lord. And because the Lord appeared also from the same mother, some brotherly relationship was there. Indra had some parental feelings because he was the older brother. Aditi that was again and again embracing Bhagavan Vamandev. So Indra has 1,000 eyes. That's a long story. I guess we have to tell it, otherwise no one will understand. So with 1,000 eyes, Indra was seeing the beauty of Lord Vamandev and tears were flowing from his eyes. One time, Indra, because he's in the heavenly planets means unlimited enjoyment is there, so generally so much lust is there. Only want enjoyment if you are lusty. Therefore, there was one sage with his wife. Sage name was, I think, Augusta Rishi. The wife was very beautiful. Her name was Aholya. So Indra became lusty for her, even though she was a human being. Therefore, Indra came disguised as Augusta Rishi and enjoyed sex life with her. But even though Indra was in disguise of her husband, she knew this is not my husband. But still, because she was attracted by Indra's beauty, she enjoyed anyway. So Augusta Rishi came and he caught them in a compromising position. And he became angry because he had so much austerities. He cursed Indra, the king of heaven. You are so much attached to women, to sex life. I curse you, your body be covered by thousands of genitals, ladies' genitals. That happened, of course. Indra had not felt too much comfortable by that. How embarrassing. So he requested, please, mitigate your curse. So Augusta Rishi said, okay, you'll be covered by thousands of eyes. So that curse is still there today. So with thousands of eyes, Indra was seeing the Lord and weeping in happiness. So Bhamandev stayed some little time, then he disappeared, so he was coming again and again. Just a little time he would stay, then he returned. So when Bhamandev left, then Narada Muni approached Lord Indra, the king of heaven, and prayed, O Devaraj, O king of the demigods, you really have the topmost mercy of the Lord Vishnu. Because you have such a good position, the sun god, the moon god, Yamaraj, the controller of the 10 directions, the 8 Vasus immediately follow any order you give. All sages and sadhus are subservient to you. What to speak of anyone in the universe, even Jagadishwara, the Supreme Lord, he has taken the position of your younger brother. Therefore, who can calculate the fruits of your pious activities? So Narada Muni was glorifying Indra. And he's the a human being who does a mountain of pious activities can attain that position. So Narada Muni began playing his veena, like one type of guitar. Of course, not a guitar, but he began singing the glories of Indra. You have the mercy of Bhagavan. You have the mercy of Bhagavan. So when Indra heard this, he lowered his head in shame. Oh, Narad, what you are speaking, this is wrong. I think, Narad, you must have forgotten the unfortunate position of the heavenly planets. Many people want to go to heaven, but even heaven, the heavenly planets, is not a place of perfect fearlessness. Because even though they live thousands and millions of years, when the stock of their pious activities are exhausted, again they fall back to the human form, they come back to the earth planet. So the celestial planet is also temporary. So fear is also there in the heavenly planets. The Bhagavatam described the demigods, they have celestial flower garlands. They never become rotten like the flower garlands in this world. But they enjoy youth, they can have unlimited sex life for millions of years, but when their pious activity is finished, their garland begins to fade and become bad. At that time, the women become pregnant, and in one day they give birth to a child, then they leave the heavenly planets. Like in the material world, like on the earth planet, you have like man and woman marry, and then sex means child means how much misery, how much like suffering to grow up the child, how much difficulty. Only those who have had children, they fully can understand. But the heavenly planet, all these things are not there. In this world, people have to take contraceptions, they don't become pregnant. This is also one sinful activity, because by force you're stopping the birth of a child. So taking contraception is the same as abortion. But the heavenly planets, all these things are not there. They can enjoy limited sex life without pregnancy. And when they give birth to the child immediately comes to their full youth in one day. So all that trouble of child bearing and all that is not there in the celestial planets. But still fear is there. The demigods also know. Every day they check their garland. Is it still okay or not? How much longer I have? Also again and again, the demons sometimes capturing the celestial planets. The demigods are always fearful of maintaining their position. Because there's so much enjoyment there, they're full of lust. Therefore, sometimes there is also envy, lust, fear. So the celestial planets is not the topmost realm. That is not the perfect goal of life. So Indra, out of humility, he said, no, Narad, you are speaking funny words, but don't you know this celestial place, these celestial regions, also a place of fear? How many times Indra also ran into trouble? Sometimes because that position has so much power, so much beauty, so much opulence. Sometimes Indra sometimes neglects other personalities, like his Guru Brihaspati. Then he becomes cursed, he loses that position. So that is not perfect. So, Bali Maharaj, sorry. Indra saying sometimes here is also fear. Here is also so much lust. How many times I lost my position? Sometimes the demons capture these planets. No? Sometimes these demons are so powerful, like Ravan, Mosa Hiranyakasipu. They take the positions away from the demigods and they give to their friends, the demons. Therefore, this celestial planet is not the perfect place now. Therefore, how can I be the recipient of Krishna's mercy? Now, then Indra said, my mother and father did great or long austerities, and Bhagavan became their son. Therefore, but Krishna himself not came, only Krishna's plenary portion and a little expansion of Krishna came. Krishna not personally became my younger brother, but one expansion of an expansion of Krishna. Right? Krishna expansion is Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu's expansion, that is Brahmandev. So how can you say, I got the mercy of Krishna, when Krishna is with me, just in the form of expansion of his expansion? Also, Brahmandev not always stay here in the celestial planets. Sometimes he comes, then he disappears. And Narada Muni say that the Lord gave so much mercy by taking the celestial planets away from the demons and giving back to me. But actually from us, the demigods, this is a source of great shame. Because for a fighter, a hero never accepts charity. A hero never accepts. A hero always gives. So especially the warrior class, the Kshatriyas, they can never accept charity. Only the Brahmanas can accept charity. So Bhagavan, we not fought and captured the heavenly planets by our own potency or prowess. The Supreme Lord Bhavan cheated Bali Maharaj deceptively and gave it to us in charity. So these are not his mercy, these are great shame for us. In a very nice way, Indra is saying like that. Also in the celestial realms, there's many faults, such as envy and rivalry. Sometimes the demigods, they have their woman, their wife, whatever, but they see some demigod has a more attractive wife, they become envious, they become in competition, rivalry with someone. Sometimes to protect their own position, the demigods perform some low-class activity, like killing a Brahmin, like Indra himself did when he killed Britasur. Therefore, we are always fearful of, when our pious activities are finished, we are always fearful of falling down, get forced from our positions. Therefore, where is the so-called happiness of the celestial regions? Indra said. Also, Supreme Lord, many times he also disrespected me. Okay, this is one history, no? One time, Krishna, Narada Muni went to the celestial realms, the heavenly planets. Then we already heard about the divine trees there. So the best of the trees, the kalpavrikshes, they're called parijat. So imagine the fragrance of those flowers. So Narada Muni took some parijat flowers from the celestial realms, and he came to the earth planet where Krishna was there in Dwarka. Krishna has 16,108 wives. So Narada Muni came when Krishna was surrounded by all his wives, and the nature of Krishna, he's so kind, he gives himself fully to each devotee. I am yours, I am yours. So that time Narada Muni gave that flower to Krishna in front of all the 16,108 wives. And Narada said, "Oh Krishna, please give this to your most favorite wife." Narada Muni always doing like this. That Krishna become in such a situation because Krishna tells each of his wives, "You are most dear to me, I only think of you, I know no one else." And Krishna says that to all the wives. So all 16,108 wives were all expecting Krishna to give them the special flower, but there was only one flower. Krishna tried to escape from the situation. "Oh, I cannot give now, let me give later." No, you must give now in front of me. So Krishna closed his eyes and gave to his first wife, Rukmini. So immediately Satyabhama became angry. She came in Man, it's called angry mood, with Krishna to pacify her. Said, "Oh, Satyabhama, why you're being so much disturbed? I only gave one flower to Rukmini, but to you," there's technical misfunction. Sorry. "I only gave one flower to Rukmini, but to you I will give a whole tree." So Krishna went to the celestial regions, the planet of Lord Indra, and then he asked Indra, "Oh Indra, just give me one tree in charity." Like Indra, the gardens have unlimited trees, and if the Supreme Lord asks for one tree, what's the problem? But Indra became proud. "No, these trees are only in the celestial realms. How can you take to Earth planet?" So all the demigods fought with Krishna to stop him taking one tree. Imagine. By Krishna does the whole creation, by Krishna's grace they achieved that position and they became against him when he asked for something. We are also like that. We say, "Gurudev, everything is yours," or "Krishna, everything is yours," but one day Krishna will say, "Give." That time will we give or not? We'll have to see. So Indra and all the demigods tried to stop Krishna taking the tree. There was a huge fight, but Krishna defeated them like an elephant defeats so many mouse. And he took that tree by force to the Earth planet. So Indra remembering this. No. Krishna so much slighted us, disrespected us when he took this tree from the heaven by force. Also another time, in the heavenly planet is the Sudama assembly hall. Now we already talked about that. Krishna took that from heaven also. So Indra said, "We are not the recipient of Krishna's mercy because Krishna stole our tree, he stole our assembly hall, and he transferred them to the mortal material world. So how can you say we are the recipient of Krishna's mercy? If Krishna had given us mercy, we would have had some intelligence, how to behave properly." In India, nothing ever works. Nothing. So, also, another time, Indra was worshipped in Govardhan. Every year the Brijabasis, they would worship Lord Indra once a year. But Krishna became upset. Why my own devotees, the Brijabasis, are worshipping and serving someone else except for me? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna forbids the worship of the demigods. For example, in the village, you have one lake, one pond for washing pots, another pond for washing clothes, another pond for physically washing yourself, another pond for drinking water. You know? So many ponds fulfill different desires, but a huge lake, you can do all things in that. A huge lake can serve the purpose of many small ponds. So Krishna says, "I am the ultimate lake. I can fulfill all desires, what necessary to worship other demigods." So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, "Yasyaste ridara jana prapadyanti anyadevata." Those with many desires, they worship the demigods. But those with no desire worship me. So in Bhagavad Gita, again and again, Krishna forbids the worship of the demigods. Rishikesh Govinda Seva na puji deva deva. Krishna can fulfill all desires. Whatever the demigods fulfill, give, Krishna can also give that. And Krishna can give what the demigods cannot give. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, "Deva Brhad Deva." Those who worship the demigods go to the demigods. Bhuta yantanti bhuteja, those who worship the ghosts. Like in many societies, they worship ghosts. Like some places in Islam, they worship the jinns, the spirits, the ghosts. Also in Bali, Indonesia. China also, they worship the forefathers and ghosts. Those who worship the ghosts go to the ghosts. Those who worship the forefathers go to the forefathers. Those who worship the demigods go to the demigods. But Krishna says, those who worship me come to me. When it comes to Krishna, never takes birth again. So when Krishna saw the Brijabasis worshipping Indra, Krishna spoke, why are you worshipping Indra? What does Indra give? Rain? But I think actually in this Vrindavan, Govardhan is our protector. Govardhan is our maintainer. So Krishna changed the mind of all the gopas and gopis. They began to worship Giri instead of Indra. Then Indra became very angry. He tried to kill everyone by sending flooding rains, but Krishna protected everyone by lifting Govardhan for 7 days. So Indra spoke this. He spoiled my worship and all the respect that the Brijabasis had given me for many generations. Krishna stopped that. Also, Indra had another forest called the Kandharva forest that was very dear to Indra. It was now Vrindavan and Delhi, halfway. That forest was there 5,000 years ago. It was like one playground place of Indra on the earth, very dear to him. But the fire god wanted to burn that forest. But every time he tried to burn it, then Indra would rain on him, so he could not fulfill his desire. So one day the god of fire came disguised in the form of a Brahmin. He came before Krishna and Krishna and Arjuna. Oh, I am very hungry. Please give me some charity, give me some foodstuff. Then Arjuna promised, oh Brahmin, whatever you want to eat, I will give you. What do you want? Kachoris, samosas, sabji, paneer sabjis, dokla, parathas. No. That Brahmin showed his celestial form. I am the god of fire. I don't want any ordinary meal. I want to eat the Kandharva forest. So Krishna, Arjuna, you gave your word, we have to fulfill your word. So Krishna produced his celestial chariot. Arjuna, the sun god gave the fire god gave so many weapons to Arjuna, like this Gandiva bow and other things. And Arjuna, the fire god, began to eat the Kandharva forest. And every time Indra tried to rain, then Arjuna made a network of arrows that the rain could not come on. Then Arjuna and Krishna defeated all the demigods in battle. And this way Krishna defeated it, crushed Indra's pride by burning the Kandharva forest. So Indra, remembering all these things that Krishna had done to him, no, how could I? Okay, Krishna has right to do what he wants. He is independent, but I should also have some brains, some intelligence. If Krishna wants to take his thing, then why I gave so much opposition again and again? So if I had Krishna's mercy, I would be behaved properly. And Krishna wouldn't have had to test me like that if I was a proper person. So how can you say Krishna gave me mercy when? He took the Parijat flower, he took the Sudama assembly, he destroyed my puja that the Brijabasis were doing, he burned my Kandharva forest, no. He convinced me to kill Britasura. As a result of that, I had to suffer so much. Hare Krishna. These are all stories in Bhagavatam. Why Krishna doing this? Because 99% of people so much want to go to the celestial planets. But Krishna is showing there is also disturbance, there is also fear. That is not the place of complete fearlessness. Then Krishna also disrespected Indra. Krishna made his own abode. You think Bhūrloka, or that is Vaikuntha, what's it called? Prapanchik Vaikuntha, the abode of Lord Vishnu within the material world. That is 1,000 more times opulent even than the Indra's abode. So Krishna made his own planet. So much opulent, this also destroyed my name and fame. So actually Krishna not came as my younger brother because of me. He actually came because of the worship of my parents. Aditi and Kashyap did so many austerities. And also because of my Guru Brihaspati. For that reason, Bhagavan comes here and sometimes accepts my worship. But it's not because of my devotion. It's because of the devotion of my parents and my Guru. Also, he not stays here long. He comes here, he accepts the worship and he disappears. And where he disappears, nobody knows. I cannot say where he goes. Therefore, I am not the recipient of the full mercy of Sri Krishna. I think, therefore, there are devotees which are higher than me. That is Brahma. Brahma has more mercy than me. And Shiva has more mercy than me. Why? Because the planet of Brahma is more difficult to achieve even than my abode. Instead of a human being perfectly follows all the rules and regulations of life, that is called Varnashram. If a human being perfectly follows Varnashram for 100 lifetimes, no mistake, for 100 lifetimes, he can get the position of Brahma. So a human being who follows perfectly in one lifetime can become Indra, but Indra, to get the position of Lord Brahma is not so easy. Therefore, the place of Lord Brahma is 1,000 times greater than my place. So, I think you better off you worship Brahma. Brahma is the real recipient of the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord is now not in my abode. Now he's residing in Dwarka. Sometimes Krishna also goes to Mathura. Sometimes he goes to Hastinapur. But I cannot see any real mercy of Krishna upon me. Therefore, Narada, I know that you should know that your father, Lord Brahma, he is the real recipient of Krishna's mercy. Why Lord Brahma has such a fortunate position? He is the direct son of Lakshmikanta Vishnu. One form of Vishnu. Okay, we have to explain all this. Krishna's expansion to Baladev. Baladev expands himself into Sankarshan and Vaikuntha. Also the second form of Sankarshan. That Mahasankarshan then expands himself in the material world as Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu is so unlimited that universes come and go through the pores of his skin as he breathes. Hey! It's too much shouting. Then Mahavishnu expands himself into every universe. That is called Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, then he floats, he fills the universe with his own perspiration. He floats there, residing on Ananta. When he desires to create, from his navel comes a lotus. On the top of that lotus is Lord Brahma. Therefore, Indra said, Lord Brahma is like the direct son of the Supreme Lord. Because that lotus like an umbilical cord. So he is the direct personal son of the Supreme Lord. And how long he lives. We explained a little bit in the first class. In one day of Brahma, 14 different Indras come and go. 14. And Brahma lives 100 years. Therefore, Brahma's lifespan is billions and billions and billions of years. So he has so much fortune. That Brahma is the creator of all the material universes. The 14 planetary system. Lord Brahma is the one who calculates. You have this position, you have that position. The Brahmaji is like the secondary cause of the entire creation. And on the planet of Lord Brahma, the Yagya Purush, the Mahapurush, always resides there. One form of the Lord. Always stays there. And on the topmost planet of Lord Brahma, the residents there feel unlimited bliss by constantly seeing and serving that form of Vishnu called the Mahapurush, the Yagya Purush. Therefore, your far that Lord Brahma, he has the full recipient, the full mercy of Krishna. He is the full recipient of all Krishna's mercy. What to say that? No, Indra said that Lord Brahma is the same as Krishna. He is none different from him. All the scriptures, the Shrutis and the Smritis describe Brahma as one incarnation of Krishna. Then Indra said, you are much more aware of all this than me. You should go there. So what happened? We'll hear next how Narada Muni went to the planet of Lord Brahma. That is the topmost planet of the material universe. What happened there? What he saw there? What conversation was there between Brahma and Narad? We will hear next class. So we'll do that not tomorrow, the next day. So not tomorrow, next day, same time. In this way, we're making our way nicely through this Bhagavatamrta. Hare Krishna, thank you everyone for watching.